What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the post-fight analysis between Deontay Wilder and Tyson the Wild Man Fury. The fight just ended a little while back. Ed Latimore is actually on his way. He is he's actually, I think he watched the fight. He watched the fight over at his homeboy's house, and so he's making his way to the house so that he can get on and do the show with me. So I'm gonna roll solo until he gets here. My guess is that he'll be, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And just want to make sure all systems are go here. Make sure everything looks good on camera. It is just past 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Again, this is the post-fight analysis for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. For those of you who haven't seen or haven't watched the fight or haven't heard, whatever, what have you, actually, I think I know what's missing. Hang on a second. Need to make an adjustment with my camera here. There we go. I don't know why my fucking... Let's see what that... there we are. Much, much better. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So, so the fight ended. So the fight just ended a little while ago. And the fight was a draw. The fight was a fucking draw. Alejandro Rochin scored the bout 115 to 111 to Wilder. Robert Tapper, I think of Canada, scored the bout 114-110 to Fury. And Phil Edwards scored the bout 113-113 all, and that is what made this a split decision draw. Listen, let's not beat around the bush. Tyson Fury won that fight, and it wasn't even close. Deontay Wilder won 1.5 rounds. He won the 12th round, and he honestly, he barely even won the 12th round because when he knocked Tyson Fury down, the fight was over. I thought the fight was over. I stood up from my couch. I was like, holy shit, the son of a bitch pulled it off. The son of a bitch pulled it off. And Tyson Fury, I have no idea what lifted him off of the canvas. The fight was over. Deontay Wilder gave it's over. That was it. Right? He caught him on the short end of that overhand right. He caught Fury, I don't know, just above the temple, but then he hit him with that left. And that left is what floored Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was flat on his back. It was, I mean, dude, the fight was over. Deontay Wilder won the fight. And somehow, Tyson Fury gathered the strength to get up and not only get up off the canvas, right? And the referee didn't even buy the fact that Fury was even coherent, right? Look at me, say my name, etc. He says, okay, walk over there. Dude, Fury ran over. Fury was clearly rocked. But Deontay Wilder could not put him away. And 30 seconds later, Tyson Fury then hurts Deontay Wilder. At this point, Wilder's completely out of gas. All the swings and misses. Why couldn't Wilder finish off Tyson Fury? Because Deontay Wilder cannot box, gentlemen. And listen, Deontay Wilder is impressive because, and I'm not, and again, I don't want guys to sit here and tell me, well, and of course, Devin, being a woman, well, if he was really that bad of a boxer, then he wouldn't be the champion. Oh, listen. We say things all the time like Blake Bortles sucks, right? He's a terrible quarterback. Well, from the outside looking in, no, Blake Bortles is probably one of the best, maybe 60 to 70 quarterbacks on the face of the earth. So Blake Bortles doesn't really suck. He's good enough to have a job in the NFL, right? But relative to his competition, Blake Bortles is a terrible quarterback. Deontay Wilder is a terrible boxer. Like, we knew that going in. Listen, I said this to you guys numerous times leading up to the fight. I want Wilder to win. but Fury is the superior fighter. He's the superior boxer, and it showed. If Deontay Wilder could box, he would have finished off Fury in the 12th round. He got lucky and finally caught him with on the short end of that overhand right, had the presence of mind to hit him with that left. Fury was down and out. But because Deontay Wilder cannot box, number one, and because he didn't have the wind to finish off Fury, Fury survived the round. And I guess more or less managed to eke out a draw. Tyson Fury won that fight going away. Tyson Fury won that fight 10 rounds to 2. And I'm being generous. Fury absolutely picked apart Wilder. Everyone knew what Deontay was going to do. He was going to try and load up with that overhand right. He kept swinging and missing. And listen, I don't know if you guys have been in any fights, but swinging and missing takes a lot more wind than swinging and connecting. Deontay Wilder did a lot of swinging and missing. It is amazing to me that a guy who was over 400 pounds, what was it, a year and a half ago, he's 400 pounds, hopped up on cocaine, drinking beer. This guy manages to get himself into shape and manages to eke out a draw. He won that fight, guys. He won that fight going away. Wilder knocked him down twice. That's what gave him the 2 rounds. But because Deontay Wilder cannot box, this is what cost him the fight. Now, to Deontay Wilder's credit, listen, to be a one-trick pony and to be able to win 40 fights, 39 of them by way of knockout, that's pretty fucking impressive. He's still relatively young. He's at the end of his prime. If he can learn to box, he'll be unstoppable. This is what made Mike Tyson deadly. Mike Tyson had the power, and Mike Tyson could box. He was elusive. He had that deadly left hook. Nobody knew what to do with Mike Tyson. This is why Mike Tyson became a heavyweight champion at 20 years old. But Deontay Wilder cannot. Listen, he's a great fighter. Listen, he's a one-trick pony, like Joe Rogan said to Tyson Fury when Fury was on with Joe Rogan talking about the fight. Hey, he's a one-trick pony. Joe Rogan says, yeah, it's a hell of a trick. Yeah, it's a hell of a trick. Deontay Wilder has probably one of the top 5 right hooks, right hands, overhand rights of all time. Up there with maybe George Foreman. And we're talking heavyweights. Mike Tyson's up there. But Deontay Wilder cannot box. And that was on full display. Again, not to beat a dead horse, Tyson Fury picked his ass apart throughout the fight. Made sport of this guy. Hands down. Man.
What's going on, man?
For Ed, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man.
What a fight. What a fight. What a fight.
Oh, my God. Listen, that 12th round was one. Listen, the 12th round was one to remember. But I thought, listen, Fury won that fight. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, we were scoring it. I scored the fight every round except the 2 rounds he got knocked down. I thought it was going to be 8-4, maybe 7-5, but there wasn't a single. I saw the the commentator scorecard they gave Wilder around. Which okay, that's cool. Even if they do that, that's a 7-5 fight.
Yeah, right.
You know they do that, but here's what I'll say. You know, here's one thing the fight did for me. I'm 100% convinced now that Wilder and Joshua is a competitive fight. Like, I don't know if he beats him now, but now, you know, okay, look, I've been, you know, hit and taken down, and you know it hurts, whatever. But to see him put down Fury twice, I mean, Fury's a big dude, and he's got up off the canvas before. But now, with that said, you know, Fury also got taken down by a man who was a blown up like heavyweight,
sure.
in Steve Cunningham.
Right,
but no, I mean, I thought Wilder fought discipline. He didn't get discouraged. I didn't think Fury was, you know, really pressing the gas trying to hurt him. But that's probably a consequence of
the cocaine and the
man, he don't be surprised if he pisses hot after that fight. I've never seen it. You see that energy? I tweeted out.
No.
I tweeted out when he was walking to the ring. I said, "This motherfucker's hot." And then you watch, and then you watch between the rounds, and his pupils he has after that fight. Wow. I'm like, you're gonna piss hot, bro, and it's gonna be bad, man.
Listen, that remains to be seen, but I think anybody who watches that fight, listen, nobody thinks the fight was a draw. Everybody knows Tyson Fury won the fight. But here's the thing. The knockdown of Tyson Fury was so spectacular, we thought it was over, right?
Oh, for sure.
Dude, it was over. Like, dude, his legs, that was it. Not only does he get up, Ed, he hurts Wilder 30 seconds later. Wilder was hurt.
Henry's brother, I can't even remember what the kid's name is now. He was coming up. He said, I thought they were just hyping him up, whatever, but it was an interesting quote. He said the only reason this fight is competitive is because my brother was on a 2-year layoff.
Yep.
Because to do that, get up off the canvas, take that shot. And this is, because to be honest, let's be real here. Tyson Fury looked horrible in his first 2 comebacks. Yeah. I looked at those fights. Let's put it like this. My original prediction was that if Tyson Fury came in under 2 to be the hardest fight, and he'd probably win. I said that originally. I went and looked at the 2 comeback fights, and I said, this motherfucker is washed up. This is a bad situation. And he came out tonight at 256.
256, man. And he danced around like he was 190.
Perspective. AJ regularly comes out lighter than that.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
So
what was really impressive to me about Fury was his like I've watched most of Fury's fights thanks to the advent of YouTube. His hand speed, dude, he's huge. He's 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is.
6'9".
Dude, he's got these gargantuan arms. Dude, he doesn't even look like a fighter. He looks like the guy who gets drunk at the local pub. He's got love handles. He's got man titties. His arms are flabby. This motherfucker has hand speed like a goddamn middleweight. And Deontay Wilder couldn't do anything. Dude, he was eating that jab all night long, man.
I like to live tweet the fights and everything and give my personal take of the score, whatever. People like it too. I love it. It keeps me sharpening the game. And I said in the 7th round, the round out or knocked him down the first time. So I think it was the 7th, 8th round. I said Deontay Wilder is psychologically stalemated and mentally defeated.
That's right.
He was out of the game. He had nothing. And if they don't make him better, here's what I'll say about this, right? In terms of the pure power, that power truth combined with that height, he's gonna win most fights.
Sure.
If not all fights.
Here's
the thing. Yeah, here's what we learned tonight though. We learned that Deontay Wilder is unbelievably one-dimensional.
Yeah.
He's got to learn more.
Yes.
To have that part, because Tyson, what it was the law of large numbers catching up with Tyson Fury. You can only slip that punch so many times, and it still only hit him twice. Let's be real. We want to talk about power shots. Deontay Wilder landed 2, and both of them
knocked him down.
Right?
Not only
when he fight. Now, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say the first knockdown was kind of weird. So Wilder has him in the corner, and it looks like Fury is trying to duck underneath, bob and weave, and Wilder catches him, I think, on the back, on the top of the head.
Yeah,
looks like he might have knocked off his equilibrium, and he didn't get knocked down. He just kind of got knocked over. Okay, he gets up, looks at the ref, puts his gloves on. Look, I'm fine. I'm okay. Let the fight go on, et cetera, et cetera. The second knockdown, he still didn't catch it. Listen, if he had caught full right hand, Fury would not have gotten back up. But he caught him on the front end of that right hand, set him up just enough as he was headed down for the knockdown again, hit him with that hook. That's what got him.
Yeah, and that was really. I mean, did it look well? Well, when they showed the replay, his head didn't hit the canvas, so he
No.
wasn't.
Right.
So he wasn't out.
Right. Right.
But it really looked bad.
It looked
And
really, really bad.
The right thing as a pro. I mean, he took the time, knowing the round he was in. He took the time to get up. He didn't need to beat that count to show
Nope.
off.
Nope.
Because there, you know, when I'm watching a fight, I'm looking at Wilder move and I'm looking at Fury move. Wilder is fighting like he had the fight won, and I'm like, "What are you doing, bro?"
Yeah. Stay busy.
And Fury like he had one. That draw really is a bad call. You know
that draw, man. Listen, dude. Listen. And going back to what you said, here's what we didn't learn anything tonight. Listen, what we learned tonight is that Tyson Fury is a much better boxer than we originally thought he was. Listen, Tyson Fury beat Latimore Klitschko. That was no easy task. Klitschko was not ready for Fury. I mean, he just was not ready for it. The second thing we learned that we already knew is Deontay Wilder cannot box, dude. Like, he can't. Right. He can't jab. Like, I don't know. He's not even a body puncher. Listen, all of that said, I don't want to say that this is a good sign for Wilder, but a silver lining through this is, number one, he got to keep his belt. It was a draw. Number two, you are now 40-1 with 39 knockouts, being one-dimensional. Imagine if you actually learned footwork and out of box. And for the record, and maybe, and I don't want to overanalyze this thing, I think Wilder came in a little bit light. I thought he should have been fighting. I don't know. I thought he should have packed on the pounds to maybe 220, maybe 225. What do you think?
So here's the thing. You know, there's two big schools of thoughts in the fight game. School of thought number one is you should try and put some weight on if you're fighting a big ass dude.
Of course.
School of thought number two is you need to maximize your advantage, and if that advantage is like you're small, you should try to get as small as you can. Here's why I agree with you, and I don't like that second rule of thought for this fight. These motherfuckers are 6'7" and 6'9". It's not like Mike Tyson coming in here. You know, every single not if they don't make, let's put it this, if they don't make that adjustment, and they're right. I mean, they got lucky in the sense that Fury was off this layoff and was not as sharp, and that was a great step up just for us to see where he's at. But the next fight, whoever that fight is, and that fight will probably be someone from the UK,
right?
Who watched, you know, he's got to put some weight on, man. 212 is too light. Let's put it this, like you said. Did you say there's somebody else did? If he was 220 pounds, those shots put Fury down.
That's right. Yes, listen, and that's what makes the difference. If he's 220, 225, dude, listen, those shots knock Fury out for good. Like, he does not get back up because of the fight. And listen, I don't know, maybe I hadn't really paid attention because Deontay Wilder is so thick in his upper body. He has chicken legs. Like, he is like, it's like he's a bodybuilder on stilts.
If we saw it here, and we saw when he fought Ortiz. Yep. Once he gets popped, he gets wobbly.
Yeah,
he's not built to take that damage. And you know what? For real, we want to talk about, like, if anyone is strategizing, you know, you got a guy that's got this big long. Do you want to pack the weight on? Here's the thing: when he fights AJ, and I really do think that fight's going to happen. I think it's going to happen now tonight because, you know, AJ's really just been beating the guys that he's supposed to beat.
Right.
This is a draw, so either AJ fights Fury, and that makes
AJ. By the way,
I don't think AJ's going to fight Fury. I just don't think that's going to happen.
He is either. Listen, if he was scared of Deontay Wilder, he's damn sure scared of Tyson Fury. Check this out. Anthony Joshua knows Tyson Fury won that fight, Ed. Like, there's no doubt it, right?
Mm-hmm. And he knows he does. You know, and there's some guys coming up. The big three right now that everyone's talking about: Wilder, Tyson. Now is, in my opinion, now he's earned himself to be back in that conversation.
Yep.
And Joshua, and now Joshua's not a small dude, man. He's 6'6".
Yep.
Wilder's 6'7". If they don't put weight on Wilder,
yeah, he's gonna struggle.
Hard fight because here's the thing that Joshua, people don't see this. I don't know, maybe they do. But Joshua is unbelievably complete. He's probably the most complete heavyweight fighter we've had in a long time.
Defense, yeah.
He's got all that. You're like, maybe you get lucky and slip that right hand in there, but when you go for it and you miss, am I there?
Yeah, you're here. Go ahead.
Yeah, what Tyson Fury wasn't doing is what AJ's going to do, which is when he slips up on that right, he's going to counter and make you pay in the ribs up high, whatever. Right? I thought watching him fight against Povetkin, for example, Povetkin was a tricky guy. Maybe in his prime he doesn't win that fight, but in that prime, he didn't take that fight. But the point is watching him against all these different guys. We've seen all of his different skill sets on display when he needs them on display. And so when he goes and fights a Wilder, and Wilder lays down that right hand that Fury so easily slipped but didn't do anything with, Joshua's going to do something with it, and he's going to make him pay for it. And that would have been a really big difference maker in the fight. He slipped so many right hands.
Oh, many, dude.
Not a counter. It was like no one ever taught Tyson Fury to counter. It never happened. If he had a counter, that fight's over. That fight's over, right?
Dennis Wilson says another case of U.S. judges fucking over foreign fighters. Dennis, dude, got to do your homework. Phil Edwards, the guy who scored the fight a draw, is from the UK. They had a guy from Mexico, a guy from Canada, and a guy from the UK. So those.
This is to address that point. Yeah, it's not American.
I mean, dude, before you come in here and making those kinds of comments and it's fixed. Listen, if you want to make the argument it's fixed, that's fine. I don't entertain that kind of stuff. But dude, do your fucking homework. Don't come in here saying, "Oh, U.S. judges looking over fighters." No,
right? Because what they do at fights at that level is international judges.
Impartiality. That's exactly right.
Is what they aim for, and I think they've done a pretty good job. One of the better areas. But the bigger issue is the fact that people don't remember. People forget this. The judges only have one perspective.
Right.
And that, someone said that to me, and that changed my whole thought process on this thing about robberies. Do I think they still happen? Sure. I also know that when we watch the fight, we are literally seeing it effectively from a 360 view. They're seeing one side. Now the idea is that you put a judge on one side, a judge on the other, and a judge on the other. But dude, if I drop if I'm killing you all night inside with counter rights to your body,
dude, who the hell scored that fight? Yeah, right.
One judge is gonna see it, and I'm gonna win, and the other judge is gonna be like, well, he was slipping, but every now and then those rights were connecting, and that judge is gonna score. So that's what they try to avoid. Sure. Obviously, no one watching the fight from the not judge's standpoint thinks that Wilder won. But I'm not about what I tweeted out immediately after. I said, okay, a draw. I don't believe that is accurate, but I can see how one could come to that conclusion with a limited perspective. I don't think that's the call. No one thinks that's the call. I don't even think Wilder thinks that's correct. Watching his,
do you think he won the fight? And Wilder's like, yeah, based on those two knockdowns, dude, bruh.
Whenever you start talking about specific things, you do.
Yeah, right, exactly. Those two knockdowns. No, you didn't win that fight, bro. You know what it is. Listen, it's interesting that you talk about different perspectives. Because the last big fight, Canelo versus Triple G, I thought Triple G clearly won the fight. And then he had another camp that thought Canelo clearly won the fight. And so that just goes to show that there really are different perspectives to different fights. This was not one of those cases. Tyson Fury dominated that fight from wire to wire. And Deontay seconds of glory, and he couldn't. And I was saying this before you came on. Two reasons why Deontay Wilder couldn't finish off Tyson Fury. Number one, because he can't box, right? If he knew how to box, he could set him up for maybe another knockdown. Yeah. Number two, because Deontay Wilder didn't have anything left. That was it. He had emptied the clip, and then Fury hurts him again 30 seconds later. I'm like, okay, well, Fury knocked down has now won the fight because listen, we all thought he was dead and buried. We thought the fight was over. This son of a bitch gets back up. He's still putting his hands behind his back. And now he's hurting the guy.
Yeah, dude, you know what? When we were watching the Canelo and the Triple G fights, those were much harder for. Okay, in terms of we were on the Triple G one. But we were also like, okay, because of the nature of the fight, we can see how one would look at it
Body work,
and go, okay, right. But here's the other part. People, like you said, man, people don't know shit about boxing. How to score a fight. I was talking to a guy on Twitter, and he's like, he's looking at my score. He's like, what are you talking about? Fury's sucks. I'm like, dude,
are you kidding me? Are you even watching the same?
That's what he said to me. He said, "Oh, we're watching the same."
Dude, he was a troll, Ed. He was a fucking troll.
I didn't think he was a troll so much as like, here's what I've learned: people don't understand boxing. You know what it is? Think about football. You've met. I don't even know if you played, but you know the game, and I wouldn't be able to know if you played or not because we in America, football is so ubiquitous that people who have never set foot on the gridiron can, and I don't mean this in like some kind of armchair quarterback way. Sure. They can form legitimate analysis of the game.
We know the difference between press coverage, a 4-3 defense, and a zone blitz. Like we know that stuff.
Exactly, and that's just like some American shit you pick up. Play the game. It's not the same way in boxing. People don't understand ring generalship, pressing, the difference between a power punch and a jab. You know, they don't understand that. And so when they see the score, they're like, "Oh, he got that big shot." Okay, great, but his defense is garbage. He's been getting pushed around the whole time, giving up ground to the fighters, opposed to making everybody give up ground. They don't understand these things, so they think the score is one way. So when someone comes and they say some nonsense, I gotta hear what the nonsense is, kind of, if that makes sense.
Let me address this. Dennis Wilson says, so because I'm not on video and not speaking into a mic, I don't know boxing. No, you don't know boxing because you don't know what country that the judges are from. You came in here talking to a U.S. judge fucking over a foreign fighter. There was no U.S. judge, and the judge who scored the bout a draw was from the UK. Friendly fire. Fuck off, Dennis. Frank Fitz said, in the 12th round, Wilder knocked him out. Am I the only one that saw them not count? Yes, you are, because during the broadcast, Ed, they gave credit to the referee, because normally when a fighter gets knocked down like that, dude, not even the referee starts.
Right.
But that referee gave him, he started counting as soon as he hit the canvas. He gave him the count. Okay. And so for guys like this guy or whatever the case may be, did anybody see him not count? No, watch it back. The motherfucker counted as soon as he hit the listen.
And check it out. For people who don't know, the minute a guy gets hit down, the ref doesn't have to do the count. The ref looks and issues it down and you'll see it. He throws a signal off so the scorekeeper or the timekeeper can start counting.
Oh,
and then when the judge comes back from directing the fighter to the corner, he looks back and he tells him what count is on. And you'll see it now when you look at fights. He looks right. So it's kind of an insurance policy, but that's why I saying he didn't see, you know. But nah, man, like that was a nasty thing. I think the ref didn't. I thought the ref thought it was over too.
The ref thought it was over, but he still counted. Dennis is still going back and forth with me, talking about. You might want to correct that there were judges in the U.S. No, listen, Dennis. Listen, dude. Listen, man. There was a judge from Canada. There was a judge from the UK, and there was a judge from Mexico. There was not a U.S. I'm not going back and forth. Make one more comment. I'm kicking you the fuck out. Jesus Christ, guys, just like guys.
You know what it is, man. You know what it is. I'm on this show, and I think I'm a little more tolerant than you. So God's thing, that shit rubbed off. I'm like, nah, bro. You
don't know. I am not tolerant.
You're still in Donovan's house, man. Yeah. I'm just a guest.
So yes, the listen, he counted him. There was, I don't know. Listen, now here's the thing, Ed. Now listen, thank God Adelaide Bird didn't do it, right?
You know, it's funny, we were actually joking about that at the house where I was like, is Adelaide Bird scoring? Okay, cool, all right.
Listen to this. Listen, Patrick Barth makes a good point here. He makes an interesting point. He says the fact that the UK judge had it a draw is obviously a rigging. Listen, man, that's a good listen. I can't argue against that. That's a good argument, right? You would think that of all of the judges that would score the bout in favor of Tyson Fury, that would be a guy from the UK. But the fact that he scored it a draw, this is why boxing has a bad reputation, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is, okay, Gio Sala says, Don, you take calls. You know what? I am now, motherfuckers. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and fire up Blog Talk Radio because I don't think this motherfucker asked me if I take calls because he didn't think I took calls, but now I'm about to set this motherfucker up. So I'm about to take calls. I'm going to put the, listen. Oh, wow. James Zinkas says that the UK doesn't like Tyson Fury. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. The UK is not a big fan of Tyson.
Oh, shit. I'm going to tell you what. He got a lot of love in L.A.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've been going back and forth. Not really going back and forth per se, as much as I go back and forth with some guys on Facebook because they're all pissed off. They're like, oh, man, when Mayweather fought McGregor, the country was Irish. And now that Wilder is fighting Fury, the country's all, British or whatever.
Yeah,
right. Trying to turn it into a race thing. And I'm like, look, man, that whole argument is going to be washed up when Wilder faces AJ. What are you going to say when that happens?
Yeah. Right. Listen,
these guys.
Dre the Great says Fury is the charisma king. Listen, Ed, I'm telling you, the heavyweight division needs Tyson fucking Fury.
Check it out. We were talking about this. I love watching fights with some of the guys from my gym that I came up with. That's where I was at tonight.
Okay.
We were saying this. We were saying that Deontay Wilder was a relative unknown even in the United States relative to Tyson Fury.
Right.
Fury comes over, does a hell of a press tour, goes on Rogan and all that shit, right? And then Fury gets big here, and that makes Deontay Wilder get bigger.
Oh wow!
from Fury's work, because I think this is I'm pretty sure this is the first fight. That, I think this is the first fight that Wilder made $1 million or more.
Yeah, I think. I think this is the first 7-figure payday. I think it might be the first 7-figure payday for the both of them, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what the purse was, but both of these guys made a great fight. Yeah, there you go. And I think a lot of guys, and I think the set. Listen, if it's gonna be Fury versus Wilder too, I'll watch. But I'm telling you what, Deontay Wilder is in big fucking trouble if there is a sequel. Because sure. Dude, listen, Fury came off the couch doing nothing but drinking beer and fucking doing cocaine and having suicidal thoughts, came in there and gave Wilder all he could handle. What are you doing? And gave Wilder all he could handle. Dude, can you imagine with a year of training? Right?
Focus.
Oh my God. And he's all zany. This is, of course, if he doesn't piss hot, right? Fury.
Oh yeah, and I am not convinced that he's not going to. And let's put it like this: as far as I understand it, I don't know the rules in California, but most of the big boxing states, Florida, New York, Mohegan Sun up there in Connecticut, which has got their own thing because it's the Indian res. A lot of them make you take a test afterwards as well.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. Sometimes it's random. But man, if you want to talk about suspicion, that motherfucker, man, so much. When have you ever seen someone with that much energy after a 12-round heavyweight fight? You ain't never seen it. And you're not. I mean, look, if he's in that good of shape, like if he's in that good of shape that he can bounce around like that at the end of a 12-round war like that, and it wasn't really a war, to be honest with you.
Sure, right.
I mean, the energy he expended was really recovering. That's probably another reason why that 12th-round shot didn't put him down. He didn't get taxed during the rest of the fight.
Nope, he did. And again, this is why Wilder couldn't finish the fight. Give me a call, guys, if you want to talk shit. If you want to talk, see, I just had a caller come in and then drop off. If you want to talk shit, don't even broke it up. Listen, call me up and tell me why, motherfuckers. Call me up. Listen, I'm not Max Kellerman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Ed Latimore. Okay, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you don't think so, give me a call. And listen, we're talking about this fight.
I'm getting static.
You were the champion, 140. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Give me. Oh shit, there's status. Damn it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Damn. God damn it, that's that blog. It's gone now, right?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Damn it, it's that Blog Talk fucking radio going all static on me. I'm gonna try to fire it up. No, it's not from the mic, guys. It's not from the mic. Yeah, I know. It's not from the mic. It's from Blog Talk Radio. Every once in a while, Blog Talk Radio, if there are too many people using it at the same time, like I guess throughout the internet world, it gives everybody a lot of static. James Zinkas says Anthony Joshua can't box and move like Fury. What do you think?
Ooh, okay. Here's what I'll say.
All right.
I don't think he can move like Fury. I will 100% admit that. I think he's the best heavyweight boxer we got right now, though.
Woo! Yes, sir. So Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Who do you think wins that fight?
We get a focus Tyson on when we're saying it's going to come back for the sequel. Look, check it out. I'm the first to admit, man, I'm a bit of an Anthony Joshua fanboy, right. and mostly because I really like what they've done in limiting a bit of the Al Heyman power lock that was on American boxing by getting 3 to 4 big belts over there. That's why I'm a big fan. It's not like I'm a traitor, nothing like that. I like that they have, and people who don't understand what Al Heyman has done to boxing won't appreciate why I love Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. Okay. With that said, that's a tough one. I'm gonna give it odds, man. I think you know what? I think Fury beats him, man, and I really like Joshua.
Wow.
I think
the phone lines are blowing up. This is great.
I think if we get Fury come in at that 256 weight like he came in tonight, but even more time to get Sharpe.
Get cut up. All right, 914-205-5356 is the number to call. Ed, let me know if I start to get static. Let's go to the phone lines. Area code 720. You're on live with Ed and Donovan.
So my question is clear that Fury won this fight. And
yes,
it's clear that Wilder cannot be a boxer. Like, he kind of just threw the shot how he wants it.
Yeah.
He doesn't box. He doesn't have any strategy. We're looking at this fight. What is your assessment between Wilder and AJ?
Here, I'll go on that real quick. I think that. Okay, so I'm a believer in Deontay Wilder's power, man. That shit is a difference maker. Not even close. But I think that Joshua is so skilled and big, like that it's not. It'll have about the same effect that it had on Tyson Fury. The difference is that Anthony Joshua has got a lot more skill on the inside, and that doesn't counter what I was saying about Tyson Fury beating Anthony Joshua. What I'm saying is right now, there's skill differential. If we had put Anthony Joshua in that same fight, that when he's slipping on those rights, he's coming back with hooks and body work. Yep. He's going to make Deontay Wilder pay for a lot of that and not just slip around conserving energy. He's going to be trying to get him out of there. And that's the other thing that Josh, he's got a fantastic killer instinct. You know, I think it's better than Wilder's because Wilder can't box, like you said. You know,
hey, listen, we can talk shit about Deontay Wilder not being able to box. Listen, man, dude, he's 40-0-1 with 39 knockouts, being a one-trick pony, man. I'll give him credit for that, but listen, you're not going to beat a guy like Tyson Fury. You're not going to beat a guy like Anthony Joshua. Here's a question that we may have addressed earlier. Ed once says, riddle me this. How is it to have so-called professional judges that see the same fight at the same time with the same view and produce scores that are so far apart from one another? That's a great
because they don't see the same fight effectively. They see it from, they have one judge on each corner of the ring, or rather 3 of the 4 sides of the ring, and they take in their interpretation. And then, you know, and the idea is, you know, kind of hedge against errors.
Right.
But obviously, you know, it doesn't come out the best always.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the line.
Put that Blog Talk Radio on, didn't you? I got that static.
Again?
Okay, it's gone now.
Oh, shit, man. Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking Blog Talk is killing me. Every time I kill it, the static goes away. Just let me know. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 203. You're on live with Ed and Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I don't know if y'all can hear me because it's a little staticky.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You know,
we got you.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I caught y'all in the last few minutes before I asked on the chat YouTube call. So I need to know your opinion first. Are we saying that we don't know necessarily like how the judges came up with this split like draw decision? Because even though we all clearly know, that Tyson Fury won this damn fight. But at the same time, this man did, Deontay Wilder, get those 2 knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially coming in that last round where we all knew he had to get it. Damn it, this guy got it, man. We got to give him props for that.
Listen.
Can we not see where the judges can to decide that, you know what, this man deserves to draw and a little politics and set that up for that next fight?
Listen, I think politics might have set it up, but no, Tyson Fury dominated. Listen, and now you make a very good point, right? And if Tyson Fury doesn't get up and hurt Wilder in 30 seconds later, I guess the scores could have been a little bit closer, but there is no way you can call the fight for Deontay Wilder or even make it a draw when Tyson Fury, he owned Wilder from wire to wire. There was a 5-second moment or 2.5 second moments where Wilder put him down. He couldn't keep him down, and that's why I feel like he lost the fight.
Right. Not only that, but like even the way you score a fight, right? You know, there's a winner and a loser and a 1-point differential between the rounds and a 2-point differential, you know, if it gets dropped. And that's usually what you see. Obviously it can get a little more complex, but that's what we see. We're working on this assumption that Wilder that Fury won 10 of the 12 rounds. That's what we're working on. 10 of the 12 rounds. And the 2 rounds that Wilder won, you know, he won them on the knockdowns.
Right.
So, you know, we're looking at 8-4, maybe 7-5. A draw just doesn't. And not only, and look, normally, like when we were talking about, you know, how we saw the Canelo Alvarez and the Triple G fight, those were harder rounds to score because of the technical fight going on. This wasn't that kind of fight. I mean, this was pretty clear.
Not
what happened. You know,
commenter said in the chat, and I kind of agreed with this. The first knockdown was a rabbit punch.
Right. You know, we were actually wondering if he was, you know, I think they were talking about it too in commentary. And I know at the house party I was at, they were saying this. We weren't sure if that was even a pure knockdown. Now they replayed it and it looked pretty pure to me. But the point is that he didn't put him down that hard. You know, it's not like that the second one where he put him down.
No, Tyson,
you know,
he got knocked down. He's like, God damn it, he fucking caught me. All right, let me get up and but for the rest of the round, he fucking owned him. He was not hurt. Quick break here. You are listening to, I guess, what is this? TSR Prime Time with Donovan Sharpe and Ed Latimore. We are, of course, discussing Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury that ended in a draw. You guys can follow Ed Latimore on Twitter at Ed Latimore. That's 1T. Your website, what is your website? Is edlatimore.com, correct?
Same thing, man. Edlatimore.com.
Edlatimore1t.com. You guys can follow me on all social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe. Tune in to TSR Live with Donovan Sharpe weekday afternoons at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific. Of course, I make regular appearances on the Brother Pill. I'm on the Red Man Group. I'm on the Red Man Group every Saturday at 10. I talk about Red Pill related topics. I talk about dating, relationships. I talk about the fact that women are not made of sugar, spice, and everything nice. That little exchange, yes, that was with me and my woman. And for anyone watching this, oh my God, I can't believe he talks that way to his woman. You have a lot to learn about your boy, Donovan Sharpe. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 85856. You're on live with Donovan and Ed. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, this is D from South Jersey.
What's up, man? You're in my neck of the woods.
I had to fight a draw, man.
You have to fight a draw, really? Okay.
What non-knockdown round did you give Wilder, Chris?
Yeah. Okay, here. Listen, that's a good question by Ed. Which non-knockdown rounds did you give to Wilder?
Well, when you look at the first 6 rounds, to me, we'll just look at the first 4 rounds. To me, in the first 4 rounds, and I watched every fight with the volume turned down, and I boxed for years, by the way, for the Violent Pound in South Jersey. When I watch any fight, man, I don't allow the commentators to sway the way that I look at a fight.
That's actually pretty smart.
At the first 4 rounds, neither guy did enough to me the first 4 rounds.
That's a fair argument. I will agree with that, especially in the first 2 rounds. I don't disagree with that statement. I thought that Fury controlled controlled it a little more. I thought Fury was pushing him back a little more. That's what I thought. That's where I went with that. And I also thought Fury connected. I do remember that.
Fury did a much better job cutting off the ring. Listen, Wilder tried to cut off the ring, but he couldn't. Because every time he tried to approach Fury, he caught a 2-piece in the face. So okay, the first 4 rounds maybe not so one-sided, but guess what?
And you know what?
I have a 6-0 after the first 6 rounds. To me,
to the homeboys,
You gotta remember, Wilder's the king. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but not.
Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
I was gonna say to your credit, South Jersey. You know, the second round is the round that the announcers did give to Wilder.
Yeah, it is.
Before the knockdown. So I mean, yeah. I think if you want to talk any rounds where it was close enough to make some argument the other way, well, yeah, the first 4 definitely, nowhere else.
Caller, now you said you made an interesting argument just then, and a lot of people make this argument. You got to remember, Deontay Wilder is the champ, and to you, I say, so if you get beat in a fight. If you get beaten around, they don't say, okay, well, that round was kind of close, so we're going to give it to the champ. Am I wrong in saying that, or is this how it goes in the fight game?
Not only are you correct, you know, remember that when Tyson Fury won the belt, he won it on a decision in Germany. It's not it's not unheard of.
Listen, man, we in America. Deontay Wilder's the WBC heavyweight champ in America. You come to America and you're looking to take the title from the American champion, and you got put on your ass twice by the American champion from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting no belt. He lucky he walked away with a draw.
Yeah. You know what? It was funny. He from a pure boxing politics.
Go ahead, Ed.
He's right. He's right. From a pure boxing politic perspective, if you come here and you get put on your ass twice, yeah.
All right, fair enough. I guess I just don't understand that. Thanks for the call, area code 856. I guess, and this is the thing. I've never boxed professionally, right?
So here's the thing, Donovan. Check this out. I'm with you. That's how I judge and look at fights. That you should look at it each individual round.
Yeah, like who won the fight?
Jot that down, and then at the end,
or who's the champ? Like whoever won the fight, as far as I'm concerned.
Unfortunately, and Americans are worse at this than other countries. Now, granted, that doesn't. I know we have our judges, but you know there's the crowd hype and shit. That's why we bring in other judges. Unfortunately, you know, sometimes even the judges get swayed by the whole champion mentality.
Of course. Here's the thing. The caller, listen, the caller, you and the caller know stuff about boxing and the inner workings that I'll never know. Okay, but Tyson Fury won the fight, Ed. Right? Yes,
Tyson Fury. Listen, that is not.
Yes, right. Listen, the fight ended in a draw. One judge scored this, another judge scored that, and another judge scored this. But Tyson Fury won the fight. Doesn't matter that. It doesn't matter even if Deontay Wilder. Do you remember? You want to know what the greatest robbery ever was when Jeff the Hornet Horn won that decision against Manny Pacquiao in Australia. Do you remember that fight? Manny Pacquiao dominated Jeff Horn the entire.
You're talking about the most recent one, right?
Yes. And they gave him the belt. Now, caller 856 would say, well, listen, you're coming to Australia. Yeah, Pacquiao's the champion, but you're coming to Australia. You're influenced by politics. Yes, guess what? On the record, Jeff the Hornet Horn got the W. Manny Pacquiao took the L. Manny Pacquiao won the fight. Guess what? Tyson Fury came to America. Yes, there's the crowd. You didn't have an American judge, even had a judge from the UK. Tyson Fury won the fight. Take all the politics out of it. You can watch the fight with the sound turned down. Tyson Fury won the fight. That's all there is to it.
You know what? And it really is. I hate to say this because it's going to sound wrong, but whatever. It's a shame that Deontay Wilder got the knockdowns. And when I say knockdowns,
learn anything. He's not going to learn anything. He's not going to go back to camp and learn to box. He's going to take the fight again with Tyson Fury. And if he's smart, he's going to tell his guys, listen, guys, like I'm a one-dimensional fighter. You need to teach me how to box. Because I got lucky. I got lucky with a rabbit punch in the 7th and a left hook coming back on his way down.
And check it out. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden Joshua's camp is like, we want this fight.
Yes.
because he really just got exposed at a high level.
Dude.
The kind of level you can't get exposed at if you're knocking everyone out.
Dude, listen, and again, it's not that we didn't see anything we already knew. Listen, and to 856's credit, the guy's a black guy. Listen, man, I wanted the brother to win, right? This is just the same people that say OJ was innocent. No, you wanted OJ to be innocent because you're African American and you got tired of niggas getting shot by cops and niggas getting their ass beat like Rodney King. Like, I understand that's what you wanted, but OJ was guilty. He was acquitted, but he was guilty. I wanted Wilder to win that fight because I'm a black man. I wanted a black man to retain the belt. Tyson Fury won the fight, man. And no matter how many politics and no matter how personal I make it, that's what happened in the fight. That's just all there is to it, man.
That's you know what? I really love that metaphor. I wish I had come up with it myself.
You guys are listening to TSR Nighttime, TSR Early Morning, TSR Live. We're doing post-fight analysis with special guest Ed Latimore. Met him at the 21 convention. He is as big and strong as I thought he was. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 206. You're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. The most annoying part of it is Tyson Fury himself. He's basically going around accepting that it's a draw. You know you won this fight.
Right.
And I hate all that friendship thing that is around the fight. It makes it weird. It's a fight for a title. You have to be serious about it. It makes no sense going around like, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, you had the opportunity, but you proved yourself and you won it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
No, listen, it doesn't make sense, but I think Tyson Fury was I think part of Tyson Fury, he knew he won the fight, but I think in the moment, and I think the narrative is going to change out of his camp. His camp is going to say, listen, we got robbed. But in the moment, this son of a bitch took a look at himself and say, you know what? I took Deontay Wilder's best shot. My ass was on the couch, fucking snorting cocaine and drinking fucking Guinness, ballooning up to 400 pounds. Now I'm here in Los Angeles going toe-to-toe with the best right hand in the fight game right now. Okay, so I got out of here with a draw. I guess I'm happy with that. He was high on endorphins. Maybe it was something else. But I think, listen, I agree. I totally agree with the caller. Maybe he was, he was very thankful, but maybe he was too thankful. He shouldn't accept that. But I think he was in the moment. He's like, you know what? Hey, I fucking survived the fight. Like, I could have gone night in the 12th round. I got up.
You know what? Here's what I'll say. First, remember, he did say he thought he won the fight. He did say that. In terms of like, should there be friendship or animosity after the fight? Nah, man. You know, I'm a real big believer in that shit afterwards.
Dude, listen, nothing brings men closer together. How many guys have you been in a fight with? Like, I don't know. I mean, I've been in a few street fights. A lot of times you end up liking the guy, right?
Right afterwards, so I don't think it's like. I don't think that's weird. Now, what is unacceptable to me is if that was before the fight, even if I wasn't a fighter, right? Let's pretend I didn't know the game, right? I agree to pay $75 for a fight. You agree to hate each other until the end of it.
That's right.
Do not ruin my fucking illusion. I've bought into it. I don't care that you're both making multiple millions. And you're probably gonna hang out one day with each other's kids. Don't give me that right now. I want to know that you rip each other's heads off. So I'm cool with it afterwards. Like, and really, you expect it. That's good for the sport,
right?
Yeah. But beforehand, that's where that belongs. All that animosity and hate each other and rip each other down and shit. That's that. People kind of went off on the McGregor Mayweather kind of tour because they were chumming it up beforehand. Come on, man.
They were. And even on the pre-fight, he did an interview with Brendan Schaub, and Brendan was like, "Yo, people are giving you a hard time because you and Tyson, you guys aren't really hate each other." And listen, man, Deontay kept it 100. He said, "Listen, man, like it's okay to not hate the other guy." He's like, "Now when we're in the ring, we're going to try to kill each other, right?" But back in the day, you remember the 8 minutes of hell. Marvelous Marvin Hagler versus Thomas Hearn. Them niggas did not
war.
like each other. Listen, the 8-minute war. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Them niggas did not like each other. Even after the decision was read and Hagler was running around, even though Hagler knew he had lost that fight, they didn't like each other. But, I mean, listen, we live in a different day and age, man. This is just how it is.
Yeah.
I think.
Plus, I mean, I don't want to. I don't ever want it to get to that, because look, the cool thing about boxing is that we can be savages and we're not going to go to jail. Because if you do that shit anywhere else, you know, you're going to prison.
Yep.
If you get to decide that if you take the lid off that shit, you got to put the lid back on it immediately.
That's right.
And so that's why you have to almost. That's why it's almost an overcompensation afterwards. Like, they were like, we about to, you know, we trying to, like, that's the natural conclusion of the rules of boxing, to try and kill one another, right? If it taken to its natural end. It just so happens that they put a rule in at one point to where that's not going to happen, and a thing called a ref. But so afterwards, you know, you gotta overcompensate. You gotta come back to being a human being, a civilized person.
You gotta take it down. Right. You got to take it down. You guys are listening to TSR Live. This is I'm live with Donovan Sharpe. I'm your man, Donovan Sharpe. I got my man, Ed Latimore. You can follow Ed Latimore on Twitter at Ed Latimore. That's 1T. EdLatimore.com is his website. My website is DonovanSharpe.com. You guys can watch me actually Monday through Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 Pacific, for TSR Live. I talk mainly about dating. How to get laid, the fact that girls are not made of sugar, spice, and everything nice. I had a week called Slut Week. I talked about how to turn a slut out to get the shit that you want from your homeboys, how to fuck a slut in bed, how to dominate a woman in bed, how to keep your girl from cheating, how to get away with cheating. I am not the guy who's going to tell you happy wife, happy life. It is not that kind of party. Like I said, that little exchange. Listen, my girlfriend just walked into the bedroom because I said to her, "Hey, I've got 800 people watching." She came in here to see what the festivities were about. She knows she's not supposed to come in here when I'm on the air. That's what that little exchange was. So I'm definitely a part of the red pill community. No, I'm not an incel and all that other kind of stuff. I don't advocate, shooting up schools or anything like that. But I do advocate little axioms like never feed her before you fuck her, right? Don't feed a girl before you fuck her. That's just part of the gig. I also talk about undercover slut tells that you guys might not be aware of. For those of you guys who are not familiar with who I am, right? We all know tattoos and body piercings and all that are slut tells. Well, I talk about the slut tells that are everyday habits and characteristics that girls have that give them away as sluts. A lot of you guys listening right now are getting played by girls right now. You have no idea why. Right now, it's 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. If your girlfriend's not with you, she's out there fucking dudes like me. If you want to learn to be like dudes like me, you got to tune into my show, DonovanSharpe.com. That is DonovanSharpe.com. Let's go ahead and finish this. Looking, Ricky Q says, not boring. No, if you find a woman with bull rings, dude, you should marry her on the spot. Marry her. Any woman with a bull ring will make an excellent mother. She will never cheat on you. She won't fuck your boss. She won't fuck your best friend. Dude, marry her. Marry that girl with the bull ring. If she has purple hair and tattoos, no, leave her alone. But if she has a bull ring, put a ring on it. She has a ring in her nose, put a ring on her finger. Closing thoughts, Ed, on Tyson Fury. This was a wildly entertaining fight, man.
Wildly entertaining. My closing thoughts. The immediate thing I left the fight with was one. Anthony Joshua. Now the worst part about the draw is that now he's got two guys they can make a claim as opposed to just one. Which is kind of what I was hoping would happen. Somebody would lose, and therefore somebody could shut the fuck up.
That's
but
right.
Now neither of them lost. So neither of them, but I don't think I'm really curious to see what Tyson's going to do if he goes back to chasing the little lamb as he calls him, or he's going to focus on the rematch with Wilder, and likewise, what is Wilder going to do? At the end of the day, from a pure boxing promotion standpoint, this was a really great thing to happen. And look, do I think that influences the decision? Sure. Right. At the end of the day, do the fans win because of it? Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get you know what, we're gonna get some great fights. We got some good guys coming up. This rematch is probably actually the problem with a rematch is that it extends the timeline artificially, in my opinion. Like you can only have that many, those kind of fights that often. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't that much damage exchange, but like for that Canelo Alvarez one, for example, that's a lot of damage, man.
And listen, Triple G is on the wrong side of 35, dude. You know what I mean? Like, was it for him.
He's looking like a freaking Russian mob boss. Did you see him?
I'm at the fight. Yes. Yeah. Like KGB sitting in the goddamn audience, man.
Like he was carrying a pistol with a silencer or something. Know what I'm saying?
Like right there in his jacket and shit. Listen, to me, it was a wildly entertaining fight. I knew Fury was good, and like you pointed out, his 2 tune-up fights, he looked okay. But listen, I went on record. I said, listen, I want Wilder to win because of my personal feelings. I'm black. You want the black guy to win. But, dude, I knew Tyson Fury was going to win this fight, and he picked this dude apart. If there's a rematch, I'll buy the rematch. But, dude, Wilder has got to learn how to fight. Yes, what you were seeing on my screen, these are all pictures of my girlfriend, right? For those of you guys seeing me the first time, all of those asses on Donovan's wall, I wonder who they are. Those are all my girlfriend, Devin. She does this for me on command on a regular basis. If you don't believe me, check out my social media. Listen, I'm the genuine article. A lot of guys out there talk, I fucked all these bitches my girlfriend's at. Well, I'm the only guy that proves it. Jimmy Too Sharp Jones says Fury got robbed. One last question. Somebody actually asked a question on here. TF Comps says corruption in boxing is rife and getting worse. The promoter shouldn't pick the judges, and they should randomly be pulled out of a hat. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Here's a problem with the corruption in boxing, and that's something I didn't even think about, because like when you draw up these clauses in these fights and these contracts, the judges are picked by the promoters.
Right.
In fact, here's how bad it was. The Muhammad Ali Act is something we all have to sign as a fighter. That basically says your promoter can't be your manager, because imagine all type of nonsense that would result in. You're going to end up on fights where only you'll win, or fights where only you'll lose if he's trying to profit from you. Anyhow, in boxing, it's going to get worse because no one cares enough about the sport to get the feds involved. That's why the corruption, how do they handle point shaving? That's fed involved. Wiretapping in the NFL, feds get involved. Any deflate gate turned into a freaking federal investigation.
Yes.
Because when there's that much money and that much interest in everything around the sport, the federal agencies get involved, and that pretty much stamps out most of the corruption. At least the corruption at the, as I say, the corruption that affects the little guy's pocket. Right. We still got guys that dodge like the drug test because PEDs make the sport more interesting.
Of course.
But the big corruption, that's not going anywhere until someone cares enough, or until the sport makes enough money, the feds get involved. And so, with that said, what Eddie Hearn is doing with DAZN, and now these apps putting the game on for real, going to make more money for every fight that happens.
That's right.
Don't be surprised if corruption goes down dramatically over the next 10 years, because there's going to be a lot more money involved, and it's going to be international money at that, because now he's got these apps.
We got international stars now.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I mean, and the people who say, "Oh, you had that with pay-per-view," but they were limited by the American promotion. Well, now any player can get in, and from anywhere with a streaming service. My boy whose house I was just over at, he runs a promotion, and when he has fights, sometimes he does for MMA. He hires out a crew, and they come and they film it and they put it and they stream it, and anyone who subscribes, they can buy. So now they gotta track it. They gotta get better at tracking it.
They're gonna get better at it. I've got a virtue signaler in the house. James Zinkus says, Donovan, no disrespect, man, but boxing is a ton more about race. A ton more than about race. It's warriors. Then he says, he who sheds his with me shall be my brother. And then he goes on to say, boxing is about warriors and their skills. Dude, listen, you're out thinking the room, brother. Okay, listen, man. The reason I wanted Deontay Wilder to win is because I'm a black man, right? Like, I identify with him on some level. I don't identify with Tyson Fury, right? Now,
you know what's funny? You say that.
Who do I like better after this fight? I'm Team Fury. But me as a black man, I want to see that. Listen, we root for the people that we have the most in common with. It doesn't have anything to do with Bible verses and spare me with the virtue signaling. And if you watched my show, I told you Tyson Fury was going to win the fight, and he won the fight. I told you that I wanted Deontay Wilder to win the fight because he's a black man and I'm a black man. Jesus Christ, get off your high horses, guys. It's not that serious.
I can't wait for all these people and I really think the fight's going to happen when the AJ and the Wilder fight come, and then what are they going to say? You know, it'll be like Bruno and Tyson again.
Right.
You know, where's the race in that? Well, you can't play the race card.
Right.
Find a new card, motherfuckers.
Yeah, somebody asked, why isn't Wilder doing the post-fight press? 2 reasons. Number one, because they're going to ask him questions like, you got your ass kicked. Do you really think you won the fight? And they're going to bombard him with that. The second reason is that he's getting ready to hit. Listen, him and Tyson Fury they're going to the strip club after this in LA. Like, Tyson Fury are going to go make it rain at the Crystal Palace in Los Angeles.
Yeah, they're paid. You know, they're not even. I didn't even know God still did the press fight conference.
Christ. Well, it's Ed, listen, man, it's been a pleasure. I think this was probably, and we've done some post fight. We've done a few of these. We did Canelo Triple G, and we did the Mayweather. No, we didn't do the Mayweather McGregor.
No, we didn't. We were going to.
Right.
So this is
this is the
second. Yeah, this is great, dude. These are a lot of fun, and I'm really. How many people are watching us right now?
Dude, it's 447. I had it all the way up to 890
in the morning. Wait.
In the morning, dude. I'm talking about. Listen, I am giving guys the keys to pussy, and I get 100 guys to watch. Right? How to get your girlfriend to suck your dick on command? 74 people. How to keep your girlfriend from cheating on you? 47 people. How to become a better man. How to look good and cook good. How to vet women for long-term relationship material. 100 people. I'm talking about Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, 892 people and counting.
892
people were watching. Yeah, that's right. Wow. It's starting to wind.
That's incredible.
Well, hey, it is what it is. He is Ed Latimore. You guys can follow him on Twitter at Ed Latimore. That's 1T. EdLatimore.com is where you can find him on you can find him on the internet. You guys can find me on the internet, DonovanSharpe.com. That's DonovanSharpe.com. You guys can watch me. Listen, I'm on the air 7-8 times per week. I'm on the air 4 times a week on my channel. I'm on the air twice a week with the Brother Pill, and then I'm on the air every Saturday with the Red Man Group. TSR Live airs
hardest working dude, man. I ended up becoming a patron, not just to here, but to the Negro Manosphere because of all that, man.
Yeah, man. He's a hard worker. Ed, it's been a pleasure, man. Till next time, man.
Till next time, dude. Take care.
Take care, guys.